Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian for Brian's Vinyl Records, and it is Monday, which means it's time for another installment of Vinyl Editions. Stick around and I'll show you what's new in my collection this week. Alright, welcome back. So this is going to be probably the last vinyl editions for this year. As we know, the holidays are here. Christmas is coming up next week, and then the following week is, of course, New Year's. I don't think that I'll be hitting any record stores. I have nothing on order right now, and I'm not planning to spend a whole lot of money right now until after the holidays anyway. So I figured we'd go out with a good one here. There's some cool stuff I got here from Vinyl Auctions. I found some good stuff in the warehouse, and I did go to the record store this past week while I was out Christmas shopping and found a couple things there. So let's get started. I want to start with something that I got in the mail. A gentleman who is in the VC who reached out to me on my Facebook page, said, hey, I'd like to send you something. There's a band locally here that I'm friends with them, and they just released an album. I'd like to send it to you on vinyl if you're interested at all. So I said sure. I gave him the address. He sent it. It is an autographed copy. This is a band called Rainbows Are Free. They're described as stoner rock or doom metal. I don't know if I really would categorize them quite like that. They're really good. I really enjoyed this a lot. It's got some real, it's definitely metal, but I don't know, stoner rock might work. Doom metal, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but very good. Really enjoyed this quite a bit. Rainbows Are Free. This is album is called Head Pains. As you can see, autographed by the band, kind of a neat touch. It's got a great matte cover. I really like that quite a bit, and it's on black wax, which is of course always good, and the sound quality is fantastic. It really turned out great. This is by Horton Records, is the record company that did this. Just overall, and I think it's Pirates Press is the ones who pressed it over in the Czech Republic. So a great package, a great job that they did on this. Really enjoyed it. So thank you, Sean, for sending this my way. I appreciate it. So really cool artwork too. Very good stuff. So thank you for that. Up next is some vinyl auctions that I had been storing up. I have a couple sellers that I buy from quite a bit, and this one is great. AJ, he holds things over for me until I fill a box, and then we'll ship them all together. It saves me on shipping and all that stuff. So over time, I've built up a good selection of albums here. We'll start with this one. This is Beatles 65. Now I have Beatles 65 already, but mine is a stereo edition, and you know, it's not in the greatest shape. This is a pretty decent copy. It's I would rate it as a VG. This is a mono press, and I think it sounds great. There's obviously some surface noise on there and things like that, but overall, I'm really happy with this copy of Beatles 65, and happy to have a mono press as well. So I have both of them there. So that's the first one. The next one I got is a classic. I haven't had this one, and I really didn't get it because I didn't know if I knew anything off here, but my brother-in-law has this album, and he put it on while we were over there one day, and I recognized quite a bit of the tunes and really enjoyed it a lot, so I decided to pick up a copy for myself. This is Supertramp's Breakfast in America. So this is a classic, you know. I really enjoyed it. It's great sound quality. This is an early press of this, and so happy to have this now in my collection as well. So that one there. And then, of course, I've been collecting some Fleetwood Mac over the last year or so, and this is one that I just haven't had yet, and so I finally added this to my collection. This is Tusk by Fleetwood Mac. Pretty good shape this one is in. Really happy with this quality here. So good stuff from Fleetwood Mac. This is Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks era. Just was one that was missing from my catalog. And the final one that I got from him is this one here. This is a classic as well. This is Dire Straits, Love Over Gold. fantastic album, great music on this one, great musicianship. I love Mark Knopfler's guitars, some cool instrumental pieces that bleed into full songs. Thunder Road is on here, Telegraph Road is on here, which is great. Private Investigations, just a real fun listen to this album. They have a great way of producing their records and mixing them to sound just so good, and this is no exception. So Dire Straits, Love Over Gold, finishes up my box from AJ. So thank you, AJ. Really enjoying those. All right, this one popped up online, and it's a seller I bought from in the past, and had just to have great experiences with him. And he has a lot of stuff that most of the times I had to pass on. It's a lot of my grails that he finds, but unfortunately they're just too expensive. Well, this one popped up online, and the price was a little higher than I was really wanting to pay. And I had mentioned, that I was interested, but just couldn't do the price. And he dropped it down quite a bit for me to buy it. And so I'm real happy to have this. This is Hootie and the Blowfish, Fairweather Johnson. It's the follow-up to Cracked Rearview, their major hit. I remember that when this came out, the gal I was dating bought this right away, and I thought kind of like, I'm not sure if it's different from Cracked Rearview, right? There's not the big hits on here, and it just sounded a little less to me than what Cracked Rearview was. But it's hard to follow up an album like Cracked Rearview with something. But over the years, I've bought this on CD and listened to it, and I really like it. I think it's a fantastic album from them, and just doesn't get credit where it's due. And I think that's just because that mindset that you are trying to follow up a smash hit in Cracked Rearview. Anything after that is probably going to just not live up to expectations. But highly recommended this album. This is a 1996 original pressing of this album. Super excited to have this. It's great. Sounds fantastic, and it was sealed when I bought it, so it's basically brand new here. Fairweather Johnson by Hootie and the Blowfish. All right, I mentioned that I went shopping on Friday. It was my wife's birthday, and I went and picked up her Christmas present for the year. And while out, I decided I needed to pick up some MoFi sleeves, and my local down in the valley carries those, and they're priced just almost better than Amazon pricing, so I always buy them from down in the valley, which is great local shop. And so I picked up some MoFi sleeves, and while I was there, I perused, and I found a couple things that I'm really excited about. The first one is Rocky 3 original motion picture soundtrack. Now, of course, this is the version with Mr. T in it, and of course Hulk Hogan is in this one, so that was really cool. But if you can't see here, this one has Eye of the Tiger by Survivor on it, the iconic theme that we know from the Rocky days. So real excited about that. So happy to pick this up. It cost me $3.50, and actually it only cost me $2.50 because I'm a VIP member and I got $1 off on it. So super pumped about that. And then after I was done at down the valley, I ran over to Mill City Sound, which is my other favorite local shop to hit, and picked up a couple things there. This one was in their new arrivals bin. This is Dio. This is Sacred Heart. This is the only Dio solo album I have currently. I have never really purchased Dio solo stuff, which is crazy because I really love Dio. So I'm really excited to have this. The price was right, and happy to have it in my collection. It's a pretty good copy. There's a couple of minor scratches on here, but nothing that looks like feelers. Otherwise, it's in really good shape. The cover has a couple creases and shows a little wear, but otherwise, I think this is going to sound great. So real excited to listen to solo Dio. And looked through the leftovers from Record Store Day and decided to pick this up here. This is Brothers Osborne live at the Ryman. Really enjoy a lot of the Ryman stuff when it's recorded. Never really got into the Brothers Osborne, but my brother-in-law is a huge fan of the Brothers Osborne, my wife's brother, and he was really excited when they played in the halftime show of the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving Day game, and went on and on and on about them. And so we watched that halftime show. I really enjoyed what I heard and figured, well, what the heck, I might as well pick this up. Got the discount for being a 10-10-10 Club member from Mill City, which is fantastic, and real happy to have this. So Brothers Osborne live at the Ryman, picked this up as one of the leftovers that was still there. So real excited about that. And the last pieces here I want to show you are Amazon Warehouse finds. I've mentioned this many times before. Amazon Warehouse is a great place to look for things. You have to know what you're looking for, though, and you have to pay close attention to the condition of the albums when you're buying them, because they will state certain things. Now, you can hit really good on these, and you can miss really bad on these. And I've had a couple misses, and nothing major. I had one come that was completely ribbon. That was a Steel Panther album that I bought, and I didn't decide to return it. You have to return it and get your refund, because obviously it's a warehouse item. They don't have replacements for it. I decided to keep it because the cover was great, and it's a cool vinyl, so I just kept it, and ended up finding it again on the warehouse deals later, and it was perfect this time, so it all worked out in the end. But that happened. I bought a Black Crowes album from them once that came, and the disc itself was broken. I had another one come where the disc was broken, things like that. But for the most part, I have had a lot of luck with Amazon Warehouse. I've gotten some really good items at really good prices, and if you don't care about things like covers and stuff like that, where they're going to have creases and stuff like that, I don't, because I don't play the cover. As long as the disc is in great shape, I'm happy. You can get some great stuff. But always look at the condition, click on the condition to see what they've listed as the problems, because a lot of them will have big marks on the disc or things like that, but others will just be packaging damaged, right? So this is one of those. This one came. This is Ann Womack. This is a 2014 album, and the title is The Way I'm Living. So Ann Womack is a favorite of my wife and I from our college years. Really enjoyed a lot of her stuff, and I've got one of her I think her newest album as well, and that one is fantastic. So I figured I'd give this a try. I think this one was under $10. And the reason was the packaging that it was in was damaged, and that means the Amazon packaging was damaged. And as you can see here, we have a little bit of a crease up here. I have not opened it yet to see that the disc is okay, but where the crease is doesn't touch where the disc is, so I'm thinking it's going to be just fine. And other than that, it's brand new, sealed. Nothing has been done to this one, so I think that's a great find. And last but not least, I found this one. This one's Steel Panthers All You Can Eat. If you're into them, awesome. You know what that's all about. I really enjoy the humor with these guys, and they're just absolutely fantastic musicians as well. Can really wail on their instruments. So I picked this one up. I think this was $12, and this one is basically pristine. There's nothing wrong with this, and I think that the reason it was put down was it said that it had damage on the package again and again. Nothing happened to the album itself. It's still sealed, so I'll crack that open and make sure everything's good there. But super excited with those pickups. So there you go. That's this week's Vinyl Editions. I want to thank you all for an absolutely fantastic and fun 2019. I started doing videos in October of 2018, so I'm just over a year of doing videos here. The community has been absolutely wonderful to me. The people who interact with me have been awesome. I love everything about it. It's been just an absolute blast doing this stuff for you guys, and I thank you for coming along with me on the ride and enjoying some of this stuff. I know I do a Vinyl Editions every week, and it looks like I spend thousands of dollars every week. But I'm a deal hunter, so I look for good deals. I use my discounts regularly, and so everything I pick up is coming at a discounted price. I'm not paying full price for things. I'm finding awesome deals. So I do record shop probably once every week, and if I'm not at the record store, I'm usually perusing online or taking part in online auctions. Great way to do it if you're on Facebook. Find some of the groups that do live auctions. You can get good deals there. There are some deals that aren't great, that you just have to pass up on, but you can find some good stuff there for a decent price, and that's how I get a lot of my stuff. So thank you all again for a great 2019. I appreciate it. I do have one more episode of my top favorite albums of 2019 that will be coming later this week, and after that we'll see what comes up, but I don't have a Vinyl Editions planned for next week or the week after, unless something happens. Maybe I show some Christmas stuff if I get anything like that. Otherwise, we'll see you in 2020. Thank you again. I appreciate all your support. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me. And give it a like. And comment below. I'd love to hear your comments. Also, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Love to have you around as we go into 2020. Thanks again. And until next time, keep spinning vinyl, friends.